Our generation is infantilizing adults. I am 19 years old. I got married a week after I turned 18, and I had my baby on my 19th birthday. When I first started making TikTok content, and even now, one of the most common things is I'm a child raising a child. Me and my husband are just kids playing house. Another thing that I've been seeing is I've seen people around my age infantilizing themselves. Like, I'm 18 and I can't even cook for myself. That's not good. I'm 18 and I'm not an adult yet, or I'm 18, I don't know how to do this, or this and this and this, and I'm just gonna say it, you should know how to do that. People try and use this, sounds like they don't want to have the same responsibility as an adult. Age of adulthood starts at 18 for a reason. You aren't going from, okay, you're 17 and on your birthday, boom, you're exactly an adult. Throughout your whole teenage life, you should be learning life skills and be competent by the time you are 18. You should.
I agree with her. You should be getting nurtured and trained in the things of life that you will encounter. Make sure you all can hear me. That you'll be encountering as an adult. And she says, "Oh, they should be teaching this in school." Well, they haven't been teaching that in school for a very long time, and it's important that parents take on that task to train their children. But I do agree that children should be being trained and taught things that about adulthood, things that, scenarios and critical thinking skills, and being taught how to do certain things around the house. Essentially, how to be an adult, how to survive, how to cook and clean, how to be a law-abiding citizen, all of those things in your childhood. I agree with her on that.
Know how to cook. You should know how to clean. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I know everything. Some people say you're not an adult until you're 25. What? How are you saying that? There's been a few people that have made YouTube videos about me and saying that I wasn't.
They're essentially saying that because the age of 25 is supposedly where the brain is fully developed. So that's probably why they're saying that.
Responsible enough to be a mom or wife, or that I shouldn't be having any of this. It has set lower expectations on young adults, and I think that's a problem. People are now afraid to handle finances, make phone calls, scheduling appointments. You always see these women be like, taking my mom to the hospital and having her answer the questions for me. I know some people have social anxiety, but to set that as a standard for young adults is ridiculous. People saying, I'm just a kid, or I'm just a girl, I think is also problematic. This generation is fleeing accountability. Society often tells 18 to 25-year-olds who can vote, join the military, sign contracts, take on debt, live on their own, get married, list goes on, that they aren't mature enough to do these things or to make decisions by themselves. And they are spoken about when discussing accountability, relationships, or decision making. Because you say that at 25, that's when your frontal lobe develops, which, first of all, isn't even true. Just making it easier to not take accountability. It does not mean that you are valid for making stupid decisions at a younger age. You should be able to make an educated decision. I'm not saying move out right when you turn 18, get married, have a baby. Not everybody wants that, and that's fine. But at the same time, the standard needs to be higher, and you should be knowing these things. You should be trying to learn more to be a competent adult by the age of 18.
Here's what I say to this. I think a lot of times what people are trying to do is, and I don't want to say in all cases, because I know for sure, but in some cases, some people are literally just probably trying to give her a heads up on life, right? Say, hey, listen, let me take my glasses off. That ring light bugs me seeing it on my glasses. But they're literally saying, hey, I've been where you are before. You should probably slow down, or just consider, like getting an education and things like that. You have that side, right? And then you have another side, another group of people who are essentially just anti-marriage, anti-family, anti-men, anti-children at a certain age or whenever they feel like it, anti-nuclear family. I think I already said that. So those people are always going to say things, but I wouldn't say she's playing house at all, because if I remember correctly, my mom got married at 18 or 19 years old, and she was already a wife. you know what I'm saying, ready to be, she was a wife already in the sense of like being prepared. And then she also became a mother early. So she was already ready. And she did a great job with motherhood. Not perfect, but she did a great job overall. And I'm thankful for my mother to this day. So the idea that, you know, you're 18, you shouldn't be starting a family, I think that's foolishness, because there are other things that you can do. Now, maybe if someone close to you, someone in your family, someone in your friend group, someone in your church who knows you more intimately, and say, hey, I don't think you're ready for marriage. I don't think you're ready to be a mother. Maybe that's something you should consider more, because they're closer to you and they're not articulating it from like a place of fear or a place of hatred of men or family, anything like that. They're just saying, hey, in terms of your development, in terms of maybe your character, maybe you need a little bit more polishing. But they're definitely not playing house. She has a baby, she has a husband. That's not playing house. I went and checked out her page a little bit. They're the real deal. They seem to be striving to, you know, build a family. You know, of course, she's 19. I think she said, yeah, she's 19 years old. She's going to say and do things that a 19-year-old says and does. That's just how it works. You can be, you know, 30 years old, and someone who's 50 or 60 can say, oh, you're saying things that are so immature. You're always going to be in a place to where there's someone older and wiser than you and know more than you. But in terms of playing house, they're not playing house at all. I think they're doing a great job. If you're gonna get married, get married. You know, if you're gonna do it early, do it early. I'm not in agreement with anybody saying, you know, everybody should do this, but I do think that from her standpoint, she said she wants to be married. She wanted a family. She wanted to be married. If she met a young man who's not her husband, and I think they're close in age, and he's ready to be a husband and a father, go for it. Because, you know, sometimes you wait too long to get married. And, you know, a lot of times, like what I would say, and then I'm going to go to the next video, a lot of times people just be projecting their own fears or their own disappointment. There are plenty of women who are in their 30s and 40s and wish they had the opportunity to be married with children. And they were playing house with men that, you know, they listened to the indoctrination of, like, you know, doing your own thing, live your own way, live life as you please. And now, you know, it didn't work out for them. And even men who were told, hey, go out, have a good time, get all the women you want, and take on these habits and these frameworks, and now it's difficult for you to even want to be with one woman. It's just, yeah, nah. If you're going to do it, you know, no matter how young you are. If you got the right community around you, jump into it. Especially if you're God-fearing and know what you're taking on, you're getting counseling, you got support, I say go for it.
Coming from somebody who has been a stay-at-home girlfriend for 3 years, it's not the life you want. And
now see, this is a perfect example of someone who's playing house. She actually tried to make this sound like she's like in something serious, saying she's a stay-at-home girlfriend. You're just a girlfriend. And you're staying home. You know what I'm saying?
And when I say stay-at-home wife, mom, girlfriend, whatever, I mean you are relying solely on your partner's income. But I saw a quote.
Again, I think what's dishonest about her approach is she's trying to connect the two of being a girlfriend to someone that you live with versus being married to someone who's taking care of all the bills. You can be somebody's girlfriend and they take care of all the bills. That don't make you a stay-at-home anything. You're just staying home. You're lazy, in my opinion. You should be working.
long time ago, and I wish I listened to it. If you give a man the power to feed you, he also has the power to starve you. But when I tell you there was no amount of gift.
Listen, don't y'all let these people online tell y'all, indoctrinate y'all with nonsense. Anybody who has financial access, anybody who has, I don't want to say financial access, anyone who's making the money and you are not making the money, whether you're a man or a woman, you know, you're in that position. It's not just women. And a lot of times they get online and they talk like this, but it's exactly what they're wanting. They're wanting a man who provide. They don't want to work. She's not even a wife and talking like this. She's lazy, in my opinion. But let me let her finish out.
Trips. Nothing truly made me happy. And honestly, I convinced all of you that I was living the life. I feel like that's what a lot of women do. They try to convince themselves and everybody else that they're enjoying their life of not having anything for themselves. I'll show you guys this nice apartment.
That's your fault.
My daily Target runs, I was going crazy every single day. And there is a lawyer on TikTok. She said the divorce rate with stay-at-home moms and wives is very, very high. It's kind of the same story every time on why they're filing for divorce. The man says, you don't have to work, just stay with me. All you gotta do is take care of the family. To a lot of you guys, that would be music to your ears. If he is paying for your whole life and you don't have any income at all, there will start to be a resentment. I'm just glad I was young. I didn't have any kids. I was not married. I was able to start my life before I waited.
She's really trying to make this girlfriend thing seem like it's so much. Like, you were his girlfriend. You weren't supposed to be having children. This is this is just silly.
Wasted more years just staying in the house.
She should have been working. You know what I'm saying? You're in your early teen, your late teens, early 20s. You're not working. You're his girlfriend. And she told on herself. Essentially, she was saying, I was trying to show y'all every day and prove to y'all how happy I was and I wasn't happy. This is what she wanted. She created a lifestyle that she wanted and then faked online like she loved it, only to then get back online and complain about how she hated it. And this is the type of stuff that I talk about, in the sense that people aren't being honest online. Like, they're lying.
In a relationship where you know you will have nothing when you leave, or if this person ever leaves, that's not going to feel good,
Yeah, that's scary.
Also, something else I didn't like about having my life completely funded, you kind of have to let them do whatever they want.
No, you don't.
Like, go about things differently and tolerate a lot of BS because your life is on the line. And as delusional as I was, I knew that I never wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. Once you add kids into the equation, you're probably never going to leave. Because once you pop out that kid, that's when you really, really sign a death contract. Like, you can't go back now. Because if you leave, not only do you have to fend for yourself, you have to fend for an innocent life too. So you're definitely not leaving if you have no income. I ain't doing no wrestling. Getting back into the workforce is not easy. Go ahead and do your research. And I'm pretty sure you're thinking, oh, I could just get alimony. That's like a unicorn. Do you know how much money that man makes? Did you make him sign a prenup? Because you will get comfortable staying at home, not doing shit. And then before you know it, 10 years passes by, you got kids, your husband's cheating on you with a younger woman. Are you going to stay, or are you going to take your kids, get a divorce, get a job? Staying home and taking care of the kids and...
I've heard enough. I heard enough of this, man. This is an example of how twisted society has gotten. The first woman is 19 years old. She gets married. She has a child. She's 18 years old. She gets married. She has a child. They have a family. They're living together. This is a young lady who's not married. No, and then the people said the first young lady was playing house. She's too young. This young lady, not married, no children, just living with her boyfriend, trying to show admitting that she's just trying to make everybody think she's so happy, going to Target, making Target runs, just buying stuff that she don't even need, just doing it. But people applaud her and are agreeing with her. Oh yeah, men don't do this, men don't do that. They could definitely gonna resent you. Get your own. And I'm all for a woman having her own. I'm all for a woman understanding, like, hey, if you feel like you need that safety net, so be it. Do what you need to do. Make sure you and your partner are in agreement and understand that. A man that is understanding of how you feel and how you want to feel safe. So having a job, working a career, whether it's part-time, full-time, whatever, even if he can afford to pay all the bills, he's just going to be understanding. And if he cares about you and you care about him, y'all can work, But getting online, spewing this language because she was miserable, had what she wanted, but still was miserable. The problem was herself. She did not have a purpose. She did not really want it for the right reasons. She wanted it for other people to be jealous of her and for other people to see how she's living her life and for her to build her own platform and do her own thing, which is cool, like if you want to build a platform. But at the same time, when you're talking about being with someone, when you're talking about building a family, you actually need to do what it takes to have a family. That's like get married, which family begins with the husband and the wife. And then you have children, you add to the family. And it's like, it seems like we got it flipped upside down. And I'm just here to remind you that family begins with a husband and a wife, a man and a woman deciding how they're going to do life together. And then they start to add to the family. I'm not saying that sometimes, children don't come first, that has happened and that does happen, and you still can have a successful family. But the design, the original design, God's design was for a man and a woman to come together and to be the family and then procreate and add to the family. So this stuff about the 19-year-old playing house, but this young lady is doing it the right way, that's nonsense. Like I said earlier, the wisdom in this is to have a community, young or old. You need to have community, you need to have support, you need to have people who can see things from a vantage point that you can't see it. People who know you and can give wisdom to you about what you're endeavoring to do, and get counsel, have a relationship with God. All these things are important when you're talking about, being a family, establishing a family, getting married, making huge decisions. You need to have God at the center. And that's what I would say. Rather than, trying to follow the ways of the world and, trying to keep up with the Joneses, being a girlfriend, but living together and trying to make it sound like you are his wife when you really are nothing but a girlfriend, and trying to discourage other women from the idea of being in an environment that, just being discouraging in general of an environment that would be to their liking, and I've seen this. It's like it's just projection. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Video went a little bit longer than I expected. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Connect with the brand at www.there'shopebrand.com. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.